massive scars here, but they've disappeared here. How did Max graduate when she was in a coma for a year and a half? Joyce and Hopper were friends with Henry Creel in 1959, yet never acknowledged their friend is Vecna. What happened to Dr. K? What happened to all those pregnant women in the Upside Down? Did the rest of the Turnbow family survive their drugged pie? Why are leaves falling when graduation is set in spring? How come there's no scar from Henry's gunshot wound he got as a child? Nancy killed multiple soldiers but doesn't face any consequences. If the Demogorgons and Demodogs originated from the Abyss, how come there aren't any in the final battle? Are we expected to know the entire plot of the stage play to understand vital plot points of the show? Speaking of which, the briefcase in the cave. Why did the writers change its contents from advanced military tech, as seen in the play, to a pulsating black stone? How did Derek get through that hole? How did Hopper get his police chief job back when, for the last 2 years, he was either imprisoned in Russia or presumed dead? Considering this, how did Hopper get a job offer in Montauk? Lucas was brutally stabbed and injured in episode 504, but the next day he's carrying around Max like nothing's happened. Will's been physically linked to Vecna and the Hive Mind, but when Vecna is destroyed, there's seemingly no connection. Are Susie and Dustin still dating? She's never seen or mentioned in the final season. Where's Argyle? Where's Dr. Owens? Are Robin and Vicky still together? Is Mr. Clark still banging the librarian? What happened to Murray? Max sees young Joyce in Henry's memories, but never confronts her about it. In early seasons, the Upside Down was depicted as having no liquid, yet somehow enough water is found to fill this tank. Will recalls visiting Melvold's general store for milkshakes, yet milkshakes are only shown sold there in the stage play over 25 years earlier. Why did the power lever at the Squawk radio station change? If Eleven's death was an illusion generated by Kale, how did she maintain it when it was the lab where she was last seen that exploded first? Why was the Upside Down frozen on November 6, 1983? If the Upside Down's frozen, how come Will can see the Christmas lights and letters which were purchased and hung up after that date? How did Max go from blinded, limbs snapped in multiple places, and brain dead to 100% normal? The show never definitively answers who's in charge of Henry. Does he control the Mind Flayer particles, or do they control him? In Season 4, Vecna tells Eleven that she had banished him to a new place, but from the stage play we know he visited there when he was 9 years old. What happened to the third waterfall Mike talked about? Well, there is a super tiny one over here. Does that count? Why did Vecna need exactly 12 kids? Was it a clock reference? It seemed to be a part of a ritual that's never explained. Why didn't Will control any of the Demogorgons who are supposed to originate from the Abyss in the final battle against Vecna? The attack on Hawkins was covered up as an earthquake, but thousands of Hawkins residents, including military personnel, saw the monsters. How did Elle get into high school with no social security number or elementary education? How does Joyce afford to move the entire family to California on a retail worker's salary? How come they didn't try using the military